I cannot recommend another English school in the world but Bristol.
Is that easy to learn English?
Oh, like how far she's come, and it's all because of Bristol. So yeah, she's a big fan.
What do students at Bristol Ingles think of it? We asked a few volunteers to share their comments on Bristol for a video and were overwhelmed by the response.
Hello guys, my name is Miguel Jimenez. I'm from Jalapa, Veracruz, and I'm currently working in San Francisco, California as a software developer.
My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine.
I believe in Bristol for the very first time because I had 4 years of experience going there every 2-3 days.
It's my first experience to attend English school because before I just had private classes. All my time before I thought that schools are not such cool like private classes, but I was wrong because schools are really better than private classes.
So hi, my name is Carlos Núñez, and I am director on the online BA in teaching English at Universidad Veracruzana.
In the end, the experience and the knowledge was going to be possibly the best.
I think Bristol needs to open other school in Europe because a lot of my Ukrainian friends really like what I talk about Bristol school and they like my progress.
Hey guys, my name is Brandon. I am a Chinese teacher and I can speak 7 languages.
Actually, my close friend, she's English teacher, and sometimes in class couldn't see my growing, but she didn't see me for like five months, and now she called me and she told me, Anna, you know, your English really boosted a lot.
Well, I took C1 and C2 courses at Bristol. I think it was an amazing experience. It was a way to gaining expertise in English, especially at C2 level.
To be honest, like they never felt like lessons at all. There was this clear difference between lessons at school and here.
My name is Jimena Disfink. I'm from Jalapa.
Yeah, the experience here has been, as I said, unique. I think it's worth your time and money to actually spend it on Bristol.
It was more like a natural process of speaking, or yeah.
The classes are great. The teachers are also great. And I mean, it's up to you to like actually put your effort to taking the classes. So yeah, I will 100% recommend Bristol.
I wanted to, get my Cambridge certificate because I was starting high school and I wanted it for college. And I knew Bristol was the place to get it. So.
Yeah, my name is Franz Lester Servin Vega, and I'm a graduate student. I studied civil engineering.
In other places I went to, I didn't really get much help from teachers and stuff. And here, everyone was super nice, obviously, and also really helped me with what I needed.
When people ask me about Bristol, I always tell them it's the best school, English school in the region, if not the state.
I think I learned a lot, and also it's really fun. I made a lot of friends, and also obviously the teachers. It's better when you speak with a native person and they teach you, instead of a person who's also like you is learning English at the same time.
I had a unique experience, even though the teachers and the lessons are very demanding, but you will see that in the near-term future, it will pay back. It will give you a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I remember that I entered Bristol when I was 7 years old. So now I'm almost 17, so it's 10 years.
I definitely recommend it for anyone who wants to start studying English.
I'm joining the CP course, which is the last level of the English one, and I'm excited for that.
My name is Daniela. I've been practicing English here since I think around 6 or 7 years now.
I would say that Bristol is a great choice because it's easy to understand things, and also people are really responsible and really helpful. And when you go out, you are like really thankful with everyone because you really learned something.
So I will say that, yeah, Bristol was totally the institute that helps me to develop this intention to be formed as a teacher.
My name is Mary Lou, and I'm currently working for the government.
I would say that I feel like this is my second home.
Like, my mom is a big Bristol fan. Like, whenever she can, I mean, like, friends of her talk about like their kids learning English. She's always like, "Oh, have you gone to Bristol? And do you know about Bristol?" And like, she's always trying to recommend the school.
This environment helps us to create a second language in a funny way, in an interactive way.
My mom has seen how far I've come, and she knows that my brother can do it. So yeah, that's why she's like, look at my daughter. Oh, like how far she's come, and it's all because of Bristol. So yeah, she's a big fan.
And of course, all the assistants, all the teachers are really friendly.
My name is Emiliano Martinez Santamaria, and I live here in Coatepec. I used to study here in Bristol when I was around 8 years old.
My name is Loli Martinez, and I studied Bristol for 6 years. The thing that I love most about Bristol is that it helped me make new friends from my town, and also to get to know more about British culture.
What Bristol gave me was like all the weapons and all the things that I wasn't taught in Spanish. I learned a better Spanish given the Bristol technique.
I remember all of my professors from Bristol, especially Steve, because he taught me how to speak with the British accent more accurately for a play that we made, and I really enjoyed that.
I learned Spanish thanks to English, and that's kind of weird, but it worked perfectly. And as well, with the help of the English that I learned here, I could study in more detail about the subject that I liked.
Actually, most of the material is in English, so we have to learn English. And the fact that I studied in English in Bristol, it helped me a lot. So that's why I am very grateful with them.
I strongly recommend Bristol, given that the way that I learned here was with formulas. I was fascinated about that. Is that easy to learn English? And in others, for example, in high school, the teacher didn't give me like the feeling that they are enjoying their job. Here in Bristol, they do, always do. They are always active, and that was caught my eye, and I feel like really, really fortunate that I had the experience since I was a kid.
Of course, I would recommend Bristol as a way to learn English, because they taught us the proper way to speak, to write, and it also helps you with your professional development, because all the certifications that they suggest you to make or to take helps you a lot with your professional career, and it opens you a lot of doors in your future.
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm a kindergarten teacher.
So if you have the opportunity to go to Bristol, just do it, because it's a great opportunity to learn from people that are native and to learn how to use it in the proper way, and also to meet other people from your town.
As I say, I recommend the experience here in Bristol because fun and with really professional teachers who are very qualified to teach.
My name is Juan. I am a software engineer. Currently, I'm living in Mexico City. I am working at an international company as a software developer. And I started to attend English classes in Bristol in 2016 or 17.
Oh, I felt really welcome. I felt really embraced by the environment. I didn't feel like I was like just being there and not existing. I was there and I was integrating myself and I was talking to people. I still talk to a few of my classmates from Bristol as well. And I think that I made like a lot of beautiful memories there, not like that go beyond just learning the language. I learned a lot about my classmates as well, and I learned a lot about myself.
Was because I wanted to study a master course in the United Kingdom. I think that attending the course in Bristol for getting the IELTS academic certificate trained me quite well for attending my master course, because that specific certification is designed for using your English skills in an academic environment.
And I just remember like feeling like really, really glad to be there, because it was like a great way to be learning as well.
Teachers were helpful all the time, listening to you. If you had some questions, they spend time with you to guide you, to give you advice, how you improve your skills. All the time we're keeping an eye just to be sure that you didn't, you weren't left behind.
I just felt really great there. I remember it with a lot of love and like affection towards everyone that was there. Yeah.
So it is a very, very friendly environment. I really recommend to you to attend classes at Bristol.
You just learn a lot as well. And I think since it's not that big of a school, it feels really close and doesn't feel like way too intimidating. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just feels like another home somehow. So I think Bristol is definitely a great environment. I don't know how it is online yet. I hope I get the opportunity in the future, but I would definitely recommend it. Yeah.